Okay, hello everybody. This is Annette Stanton, and I'd like to welcome Barbara Cafagna. Thank you, Barbara, for being here today.
Thanks, Annette.
We thought we'd come and have an interview today in regard to. I've been working with Barbara for a little while now, but Barbara, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself first.
So thanks, Annette. As mentioned, my name is Barbara. I have a business by the name of the Home Cook Goddess, and that's all about showing people how they can create amazingly nutritious meals that aren't going to take a really long time to prepare, because we're all a little bit time poor.
We are.
But we all want to eat really well and eat healthily, and that's something that's kind of missing sometimes, especially with the store-bought packet kind of things. So that's one area of what I do, and I'm just really passionate about helping people to find where they sort of work around things in terms of when it does come to their wellness. It's very much about a holistic approach to wellness.
Yeah, and we were just talking about that. The wellness equals wholeness.
Yes.
And making sure that we have the energy and the vitality to continue on with our lives and our businesses, because we all are very, very busy, and it's getting faster and faster, doesn't it?
Most definitely.
Yes.
And unfortunately, if we're not well within ourselves, then it's really difficult to be well within our businesses, which is one thing I've really noticed.
So speaking of business, so you came to me for coaching.
I did.
And we've been coaching now for over 6 weeks.
We have.
And so what had you seek a coach in the first place?
I think, like a lot of people, well, for me personally, I was looking for some direction. I was looking for how I could really, I suppose, get my gifts out there, and really, being able to have that focus and have that clarity, because I wasn't really sure where I was at with things. So that was the main reason why I decided to come along and to get some coaching.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Really that clarity.
So having those gifts and, this what I like to call your abilities, you've got some strengths and gifts and talents inside, because your background was in the corporate sector.
Very much so.
Yeah, in the travel industry, yes.
Very much so, yeah. So I was a corporate travel consultant, and I was also in recruitment as well. So all white collar, corporate world. And I did that for many years. I was a travel consultant for just over 20 years. Had my own agency.
Perth, yes.
In Perth, had my own agency as well. Yeah. Had a bit of time within recruitment as well. Did 5 years in recruitment.
Yeah.
So very, very corporate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you had a wake up call.
I did.
Which took you into, because it's like, I'm always curious about what takes people into their going inside to the inner abilities. Yeah, because we're generally the amount of people that I speak to that have some sort of calling inside. I work a lot with corporate people, executives who are sitting on something inside.
Yes.
Yeah, and you had a wake up call.
I did. I did. So just to share with the viewers, 10 years ago, I actually had a stroke, which came about from misdiagnosed headaches for about 6 to 8 weeks. And instinctively and intuitively, I knew that there was something not quite right. I've always been quite in tune with my body, always been very intuitive, and I knew that there was something that wasn't quite right. So that was my wake-up call, because I was living what I thought at the time was a life of complete wellness.
Yeah.
And through coaching sessions that we've done together, especially the one most recently, I've noticed that what my version of wellness then isn't necessarily optimal wellness, I suppose. And that's one thing that's really important, is having that optimal wellness.
Yeah, and one of the experiences that we talked about, and I've certainly had as well, is we're very busy doing. Yeah,
Yes.
So we're very busy in action, doing. Yeah, and what looked like success from the outside in.
Yes.
Having it all, the office on, right downtown Perth, having everything, the clothes, the shoes, the travel, the this, the that, yes. So I've been there myself. And it's now following success, what success truly looks like from the inside out and the outside in marries up.
Absolutely.
Yeah? So this is your journey now. So what are you finding in your business of bringing your strengths and your gifts and your talents? Yeah. What are you finding the difference? And since we've been coaching, what's transpired for you since then?
It's really interesting. Having come from such a corporate environment where it is very much suits, jacket, high heels, all that sort of thing. And I enjoyed that part of things.
Yeah, I like dressing up.
And that was the thing, you get to put your face on every day
Yeah.
and all that sort of thing. That was part of what I enjoyed at the time.
Mm-hmm.
What I've realised is, and what I've actually brought into my business as the Home Cook Goddess, is doing things that are really fun and that bring me joy, because if they're bringing me joy, then I can share that with others.
Yeah.
And it's what I've found helpful about the coaching that we've been doing is I've always struggled with that whole thing of, but surely I can't create a business around the Home Cook Goddess.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a legitimate business.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure others might feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
What we've actually gone through is it's helped me to connect what I love to do, and that actually can be your business as well.
Yeah.
And it's marrying the two together, which has been really important.
Identifying what comes to you naturally, in your everyday way of life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is an expression of who you truly are, and that's the gifts that you offer to the world. Naturally, organically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And being in alignment. I truly feel like the last 6 weeks that we've been coaching, I've been able to kind of shift into that alignment, and it feels really good.
So some of the words that's come up in our coaching session is, being in a state of flow and ease, and it feels natural. There's
Very
no
much.
force. And one of the things that, I'm committed to is helping my clients, and this is the way I live each and every day, is to follow inspired guidance. And that takes a lot of trust, listening in versus pushing. So I used to be a goal getter, goal setter, go after the results and chase after. It's very it's very masculine, it's very... Now, this is not about not taking action.
Absolutely.
This is about following inspired action from inside out,
Absolutely.
And instead of being a human doing, we become human beings and expressing who we truly are. And this is the reason why you came to me in the first place, was around being able to... You knew you had some gifts and talents and strengths inside that you wanted to express into the world.
Yes.
And how do you formulate that into a business that's natural, that didn't take you back into who you used to be in the corporate world of the push and the shove and the make it happen. Yeah. So we're setting it up in the way that works for you, your personal life, your wellness life, your business life, what I like to call creating a life and a business that you love.
Yes.
Yeah, from inside out.
Yeah. And look, it doesn't feel like work. And I think that's one thing that, we've been conditioned to think, you've got to work hard and, you need to earn what you've got and all that kind of stuff. I don't feel like I go to work. My business is literally an extension of myself.
Yes.
And the Home Cook Goddess.
Yes.
The essence, we did a great exercise, which I think that's really where things started to shift into place, is getting to know the essence and writing down the essence of who the Home Cook Goddess is.
Which is who you truly are.
Exactly, and that's what I read back.
Of you. Yes.
I read that back and I thought, I'm all of these things.
Yes.
And it's been from there that, again, things just fall into place.
Yeah, and now you're identifying yourself, under the wellness pillar.
Absolutely.
So it's wellness is what, and the Home Cook Goddess comes underneath those areas, because there's a lot more to you. You also want to bring your travel in.
Yes.
So do you want to share with the viewers that you're doing what you're doing with Bali and travel?
Yes. So with the Home Cook Goddess, well, actually, I'll take it back again. So as I mentioned, travel consultant for over 20 years, had my own business for 6 years, which was good fun, but then it became hard work, which I'm not afraid of hard work, but this was beyond. And this was one thing that Annette has really helped me with, is not just putting yourself into a box. So yes, I run amazing cooking classes that are nourishing and nurturing food that we can cook really easily on a daily basis. But I had this calling, and you really identified that in terms of the travel side of things. So we were on a call, and it was like a light switch had been flicked on.
You couldn't wait to get off the call so you could design this new trip that you're going to do with the Home Cook Goddess.
Exactly. So
in
now,
Bali.
In Bali, yeah. So now with the Home Cook Goddess, I'm actually going to be running tours up to Bali, so little 5-night tours where we've got cooking classes, we've got cycling tours through all the little
that
villages.
sounds like fun.
Yeah, and you can see people just being who they are.
Yeah.
And I think that's something we lose connection with. So cooking classes, beautiful food, nice places to have dinner, and that's what it's about. It's as well as having some space and some time to go off and have a massage or get your nails done or any of that sort of thing. So that's the next component of it, which will be good fun.
So not putting yourself in a box is paramount.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's quite freeing to not do that, and as much as people will try to do that for their own security sometimes or their own
perception of who you are and how you fit into the world, which is normal.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I've done that in the past, going to various different networking groups, and the first thing you ask someone is, "Oh, what do you do?"
Yes.
You know, now I like to just ask people, "What do you love to do?" And you see their eyes light up. It's like, "Oh,
yes."
So it's about me now.
Yeah.
And then that usually, if they're doing what they love, that will go into what their work is. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's good fun.
It is.
It's connection.
It is. And just, you know, I believe in, you know, we talked about hard work because a lot of people are programmed to hard work. Yeah. It's being in action, consistently doing the things that are calling you from inside out. Yes, you know, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. A lot of people, you know, I used to be an ex-champion sportswoman, and a lot of people didn't realise to be a champion, and this is about championing yourself in your life. And one of the things is, as a sportswoman, and this is what I realised, how does it relate to business and ourselves in business as a creative? We do a lot of inner work. And that's the alone work that you do. It's inside to put yourself into alignment, making sure that you're honouring, you know, who you are. It's a lot of self-care. It's a lot of journaling. It's a lot of tapping into, you know, knowing who you are, and then you are able to hear the inspired next step, right? So when we talk about being in the zone, and as a sportswoman coming back to the zone, the more I reflect back on that, it was so much with ease and flow. There was never hard work when I was in the zone as a sportswoman, because what happens is your body is, when it's in alignment, doing the inner work as well as the outer work, the outer work comes from the inner calling, and it's one step at a time. And as we were working today, you know, we just come from a coaching session, it's then identifying what are the steps that you are taking that then becomes your unique business model. Because it's being a witness to, well, what are you doing that's working for you from inside and outside? It's the inside out. Really, you know, I'm really passionate about that because I've done so much work on pushing and making things happen and exhausting myself, and I had chronic fatigue, and I had different, you know, things going on. So we all had different wake-up calls at some stage. It doesn't have to be, you know, a big thing or a heartfelt, you know, grief thing to have that, but it's being a witness to, you know, where are you at, and being in that state of contentment and satisfaction and gratitude, and instead of chasing after. It's easier said than done. I can tell you, I've done a lot of training on this, a lot of inner training. You know, getting out of the brain that says, "Oh, I've got to push and make it happen," and how do I do this, and what's my next step, and what's the right way? Take myself to the next level, and I've got to be my best, and it's just exhausting. There are other ways. So, is there anything else that you might want to share with the viewers after that conversation?
It's true though, and I've been there, and I think that's where our coaching sessions have been so lovely, because you can relate to where I've been, but I think for what you know, over the 6 weeks that you've been coaching me through all of my bits and pieces, the one thing that I've really appreciated is that you listen, but it's a different kind of listening. It's almost like you hear what I'm going to say before I say it, and there's these little light bulb moments that that are just created with our conversations, and I absolutely love that.
Thank you.
It's, if anyone's considering doing coaching or anything like that, just do it, because and this is what I love about each session, is that I've got almost like what I think I'm going to address, and it's never that. Because you have such a great way of drawing out all the other stuff, and it's like, you may have come in with this, but guess what? This is all the underlying stuff. So, and that is a gift. That's an incredible gift.
And that is my commitment, is there is no one size fits all. I never tell my clients what to do. I don't have a 10-step program. My only role is to walk side by side with you as a sounding board. Yes, I'm a certified, an accredited executive business personal coach. What does that mean? It's all about transformational. And it's all about asking you questions that helps you draw out where you're at in a way, and I listen with a clear space.
Definitely.
So that you can hear your own answers, you can hear your own guidance, you can hear your next steps of where you're at, you can hear and feel and sense the vision of what is calling you from inside out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is an art in itself, and that's where masterful coaching comes in. So if it's, obviously we all live in a world of lots of information, and information gathering. So if you are in frustration and overwhelm and confused about what your next steps are, then possibly you're gaining too much knowledge and not actually putting into action what one step at a time, what serves you right here, right now. And my role is to help you pull that out, what is right for you right now, because we all have our own inner guidance. We all have our own inspired action from inside out that's trying to call us. But a lot of the time we're overloading ourselves and we're not even hearing the action, because we're looking for what's called right action through the eyes of other people, through the experts and in their field. And my claim is, you are the expert in your life and your business, and no one else. Sure, you can gain information and knowledge through your inspired action to support you, as you've done, to get the support that you needed. My role is to see you for the highest vision that you know is inside of you, and help you one step at a time to bring it together as we're working from inside out.
Yes.
So that you can feel the confidence and the clarity that's building bit by bit by bit, and we're shifting belief systems along the way.
Definitely.
Naturally. It's not a force.
It's not. And this is the thing, is that everyone has a different coaching style, and I've not been one to follow a plan very well. So if you would have handed me a 10, okay, week 1, this is what we're doing, week 2, I kind of would have looked at that and gone, but what happens on week 20? Week 10? I want to be
Life
at week
happens.
10. Yeah. So, and that's the thing, it's a practice. It's a practice that we go through every day. And the things that we talk about from one session to the next just form part of my day.
Yes.
Which is lovely. It's just ease and grace, and that's
beautiful.
It's a nice way to be.
It's an absolute pleasure working with you.
Oh, I'm loving it. I just
Me too.
It's fun.
It's awesome when you're working with someone who you feel is really connecting in a way that and committed to your own, what I like to call inspirational vision, because it's coming to and through you, and the courage that it takes to listen in and create that space until allowing things to unfold naturally.
Definitely. Definitely. And that's one thing I've noticed, is that in terms of what I've done on my business over the last 6 weeks, I wouldn't say I've done any massive amounts of work. But that's okay. And whereas once upon a time I would have sat there and thought to myself, my gosh, I haven't done anything for so long. But it's not the case.
So what are you, because this is the thing, just for the viewers so that they're listening in, so what are you doing then?
I'm actually, what we've been talking about, it's allowing things to come to and through me, and then that's when things happen. Rather than forcing things, which is what I was doing before. I would force, if you would have seen my calendar, it was ridiculous. I'd have every moment of the day planned out from 6 o'clock in the morning through till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And do you think I got most of that stuff done?
And then you get harder and harder on yourself.
Exactly.
So let's get some tangibles here. So what are some of these things that you're allowing to unfold? You know, other than you've already talked about your Bali retreat that's come to and through you.
Sure. One of the things that I would feel guilty about doing is if I wanted to cook in the middle of a work day, I wouldn't do it. Whereas now what I do is if I want to start making dinner at midday, then I start making dinner at midday because that's part of the home cook goddess.
Yes.
That's part of my business. Who I am is part of my business.
Yeah.
So if I want to do that, then I do that without guilt, without hesitation.
Without guilt, huge.
Yeah.
So gaining trust in your flow.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Even with walking the dog, we were talking about it today.
Yeah.
We stop, we sniff, and if I want to take photos, which is another passion of mine, we stop and we do that.
So the photography is also a part of coming into the business as well.
Yeah.
So we don't know where that's going to go, but it's going to be a part of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I heard you say earlier was your walk and talk communities as well.
Yeah. So I went to an event a couple of weeks ago, and the one thing that really was quite prominent for me is that sense of community. Now, my partner and I have been down in Bunbury for almost 2 years, and my community is up here in Perth. So I've been craving that sense of community, but haven't really done anything about it. So then I decided the following day to just start our walk and talks. So they happen on a Wednesday and a Friday. A group of us just meet up in the same park at 10 o'clock every Wednesday and Friday. And I go in with that with no expectation, no agenda. If there's 2 people that turn up or if there's 10 people. And it's a lovely way of connecting with people I never would have connected with otherwise.
So you're starting, you know, you're engaging in community.
Definitely.
Right, and in who you naturally are, the things that you enjoy doing, which means also that you're networking in a way that brings you fun and joy.
Yes, exactly. And it's not forced.
It's not forced, it's natural.
Yeah.
So this is the key. It's, you know, bit by bit, you're able to unfold, you know, what it is that truly inspires you. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add to the viewers? Is there anything how can they contact you if they want to find out more about Bali or your talk, walk and talks if you're down in Bunbury? Yeah,
definitely. So if you would like to, if you're in the Dalyella area, just outside of Bunbury, there is a Dalyella residence page. I post on there every Tuesday just to remind people that the walk and talks are still happening, because a lot of people think that if it's not posted, it's not happening.
Okay.
So I do that every Tuesday. And I also have my Facebook group, which is the Home Cook Goddess. You're more than welcome to join that. The more the merrier. I'd love for people to share their recipes and what they love to cook as well.
Brilliant.
Because it's not just about me.
Yeah.
In fact, it's never about me. It's really about sharing what I love to do, and if that inspires other people to do the same, then so be it.
Yeah.
So they're the 2 ways to get in contact
with
me.
Thank you. It's a pleasure working with you. Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you for coming in today and being interviewed. And so if something gels with you, you know, anything that we've just talked about today, whether you're just starting a business or whether you are moving from the corporate sector into your own business, and you know that there's a calling or something there, or even if you've already been in business for a while and you know that you're banging your head against a brick wall wondering, you know, why isn't it moving forward, then possibly you're working a lot of hours. You might be working very hard, but you might be not aligned with your true core values and the inner vision versus the outer vision. So there's so much that goes along with that. If there's something that you are interested in, personal message me, and I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about that. And if there's anything, if you would like to know more about what Barbara's up to, then please connect with her as well. Thanks again, and have a fabulous day. And we'll connect soon. Bye for now.
See you.
Bye.